Good morning, BBHS. Happy Friday.
Today is National Sticky Bun Day, so make sure to go eat a yummy cinnamon roll.
Here's your Pointer Pack news.
Interested in space? Here's a weird happening for you of recent news.
Between September 16, 2018 and October 30, 2019, researchers with the Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment / the Fast Radio Burst Project collaboration detected a pattern of bursts occurring every 16.35 days.
Over the course of 4 days, the signal would release a burst or two each hour, then it would go silent for another 12 days.
The researchers traced the source of the FRB to a spiral galaxy approximately 500 million light-years away.
Researchers hope that by tracing the origin of these mysterious bursts, they can determine what caused them.
So far, they have traced single and repeating fast radio bursts back to very different sources, which just deepens the mystery.
The virus is causing a political and economic fallout.
As of last Thursday, China's Communist Party fired the leaders of Hubei province in Wuhan, amid widespread public anger over the handling of the epidemic.
Last week, one of the world's biggest technology trade shows, Mobile World Congress in Spain, was canceled due to the outbreak.
Hello everyone, it's me, Scotty, here once again to bring you some news from around the world. This episode is Asia and America. In Canada, native Inuit tribes are protesting the creation of a gas pipeline that will run directly through their territory. The protesters are camped along a railroad, shutting down freight trains that are carrying vital propane to far-reaching towns and villages. Prime Minister Trudeau says he will resolve this conflict through dialogue and mutual respect. I hope all goes well for both sides. Moving on, the country of Turkey has donated a state-of-the-art ambulance to tiny Bhutan. Bhutan had a problem transporting patients to hospitals as their country is almost entirely mountain roads where vehicles have trouble passing. But with the donation of this state-of-the-art Turkish ambulance, people will have much easier access to hospitals. And finally, the U.S.-Philippine alliance is in trouble as the Philippines cancels a military agreement. Ever since World War II, U.S.-Philippine relations have always been good, but recently the island nation has been more adamant about moving away from the U.S. Philippine President Duterte is planning on canceling the VFA, a joint military training program between the two countries. Is this the end of the U.S.-Philippine alliance? Who's to say? And that's all the time I have for today, folks. I tried not to talk about the coronavirus, as that's like the most interesting thing in Asia right now, so I hope I did good. As always, thank you for watching. I love all of you, and I'll see you next week.
Don't forget, February 29th is a Miss VBHS pageant. Good luck to everyone who's competing.
Congratulations to these students for their achievements at the Arkansas Thespian Festival in Jonesboro last weekend.
Last week, basketball played Fayetteville and Heritage.
Boys lost their first game to 47-66.
Boys won the second game 63-15.
Girls lost their first game to 37-63.
Girls lost the second game 49-67.
Also, last week, bowling competed in the state championship. The boys bowling team got first overall, and Omar Franco placed first in all the boys. And a big shout out to Georgia Anderson, Jordan Ivy, Miranda Lockie, and Brenda Tuck for competing as well.
This week, wrestling went to the state tournament in Little Rock.
And tonight, basketball plays at Harbor. Good luck to both teams.
Next week, the softball green and white game is on Monday, and the benefit game is on Thursday.
Baseball is also kicking off next Tuesday when they play Muldrow at home for their benefit game.
Soccer is also kicking off, get it, on Friday, playing Clarksville at home.
Also, next week, basketball plays at Bentonville West on Tuesday and plays Friday against Springdale at home, which is also senior night, so don't miss the game.
And last but not least, next Saturday is a state indoor track meet in Fayetteville.
Best of luck to all VBHS sports.
Howdy guys, and welcome back to Factual Day in History. Let's get started. To start off, in 1916, the Battle of Verdun begins with an unprecedented German artillery barrage on the French lines. Around 2 million artillery shots were fired at the very beginning of the war, and around 40 million were fired by both sides overall. Next, today is the anniversary of Malcolm X's assassination. He was shot to death in a crowd of about 400 people. Finally, today is International Mother Language Day, so congratulate your mother on talking, I guess. That's it, folks. Now off to Alex with the weather.
Happy Friday, folks. Let's get straight into your weekend weather. Today we'll have a high of 47, a low of 26, and a 0% chance of precipitation. On Saturday, we'll have a high of 52, a low of 40, and a 10% chance of precipitation. On Sunday, we'll have a high of 52, a low of 43, and a 90% chance of precipitation. Thank you guys for joining me for your weekend weather. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next week.
You know what, man? I'm sick of following my dreams. I'm just gonna ask them where they're going and hook up with them later. Mitch Hedberg.
We've talked about it before, but we're here to remind you on the importance of reducing your fast fashion.
Yep, it's a new clothing season full of the latest trends and new materials.
Good news is that vintage is pretty much in style. So instead of buying new clothes that look vintage, just buy thrifted vintage. Like vintage.
Another plus to this is that you'll be the only one rocking these new digs.
Congratulations to our wrestling team for sending so many students. Here is a list of those who went as high-ranking seeds.
This suit seems tighter than usual. I think I'm getting fatter.
Did I even say that right?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I don't know. I just don't like the way you're looking at me right now.
Between September.
Oh, sweet.
What is so funny?
Turn it off. We can see the light.